Hello students, I am Bindu. How are you doing today? Good to hear that. Let's begin the session. Students, here are some pictures related to the topics that we learned in the last class. You all need to match them to the correct word given in the box. Parliament, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, Universal Adult Franchise. A Rajya Sabha member appointed by the President. Very good. As you have learned about the Parliament and its houses in the last class, let's look at its function. In today's Social Studies Class 8 session, we are going to learn about the functions of the Parliament and the process of lawmaking. You will be able to learn about the functions of Parliament such as formulation of laws, control over the Council of Ministers, amendment to the Constitution. The process of lawmaking by the Parliament, the list of laws made by the Parliament, by the state legislative assemblies. Concurrently, by the Parliament and the state legislative assemblies. Keywords: formulate, create or prepare, methodically, repealed, revoke or cancel. A law or act of Parliament. Amendment. A minor change or addition designed to improve a text, piece of legislation, etc. Money bills. Bills that are concerned with financial matters like taxation, public expenditure, etc. Ordinary bill. A bill that is concerned with any matter other than financial subjects. Concurrent list. List consists of subjects of common interest to both the central and the states. Sales tax. Tax charged on the sale and purchase of goods within a state. Precedence. The condition of being considered more important than someone or something else, priority in importance, order, or rank. This is the concept map of the lesson. Let us now look at the functions of the Parliament. The main three functions of the Parliament are formulation of laws, control over the Council of Ministers, amendment to the Constitution. Let us go through these functions in detail. Formulation of laws. For the welfare of the people and to achieve the objectives of the Constitution, the Parliament has to formulate new laws. It also revokes outdated laws and makes changes in the existing laws if needed. Do you know the Privy Purses Law, by which a specific amount of money was to be paid annually by the Indian government to the rulers of princely states and their successors who had acceded to India, was abolished through the 26th Amendment Act in 1971. The process of the formulation of laws has been described in the Constitution. Let's check this process now. To formulate laws, the system of the law-making process is followed. As the first step, a rough draft of the law is prepared. This draft or outline is known as a draft proposal of the law or bill of law. There are two types of bills that are primarily introduced in the House of Parliament: money bill, ordinary bill. Money bills are concerned with financial matters like taxation, public expenditure, etc. While ordinary bills are concerned with any other matter other than financial matters. In order to be converted into an act, law, the bill undergoes the following process. First reading. The minister of the concerned department, ministry, or member of the Parliament presents the bill and briefly explains its structure while presenting it. This is called as first reading. Second reading. There are two stages of the second reading. In the first stage, the objectives of the proposed bill are discussed and members of the House express their opinions on it. The supporters of the bill give favorable opinions, while the opponents discuss the defects and faults in the bill. After the discussion within the House, as per the requirement, the bill is sent to a committee of the House. The committee report, consisting of instructions and recommendations, is sent to the House in order to make the bill flawless. In this phrase, the bill is discussed clause by clause. Members can suggest changes. After this, voting is taken in the House. Third reading. The bill is discussed briefly again during the third reading. Voting is taken for approving the bill. If the bill gets assent by the required majority, then the bill is considered as passed by the House. The bill undergoes the same procedure even in the other House. After getting approval from both houses, the bill is further sent for assent by the President. If there occurs a difference of opinion between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha over a specific bill, the future of this bill is decided in a joint meeting of both houses. After the final assent and signature of the President, the bill is converted into law and the law is made. Do you know? The state legislatures also follow the same procedure of lawmaking as the Parliament. The bill passed by the state legislature can become a law only after it receives the assent of the governor. Every year, in the month of February, the finance minister presents the national budget to the Lok Sabha. Not all laws are made in Parliament. As you already know, each state legislative assemblies make laws pertaining to their states, and there are a set of laws made collectively by the Parliament and the state legislature. The central list. Subjects on which laws can be made only by the Parliament. Any law relating to money and banking rules and regulations for the telephone and postal system and all the laws relating to military forces and defense can only be made by the Parliament. These laws apply to the whole country. The state list. Subjects on which laws can be made only by state legislative assemblies collection of sales tax, construction and maintenance of all state roads, matters related to agriculture, irrigation, police, healthcare, etc. All come in the state list, and the state legislative assemblies make laws relating to these subjects. The concurrent list. Subjects on which laws can be made by both Parliament and state legislative assemblies. There are certain subjects on which both Parliament and state legislative assemblies can make laws. For example, making education policy and laws relating to factories or industries, electricity, labor, etc. However, if both Parliament and a state legislative assembly make a law on a subject and these laws clash or contradict each other, the law made by Parliament takes precedence over the law made by the state legislative assembly. As we have discussed the formulation of laws in detail, let's look at the second function of Parliament, that is, control over the Council of Ministers. Control over Council of Ministers. The Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers are drawn from the Parliament, and Parliament exercises control over them. There are multiple ways through which these control can be exercised. It is the responsibility of the Parliament to see that the Council of Ministers does not disregard the Parliament and functions under its supervision. How does the Parliament control the Council of Ministers? It is done through the question hour. The Parliament session begins with the question hour. It is an important mechanism for the MPs to know about the functioning of the government. By asking questions, the Parliament exerts its control over the Council of Ministers. Through the right questions, the opposition party highlights the drawbacks in various policies and programs of the government and also called support for their own policies. The third function of the Parliament is amendments to the Constitution. The Parliament decides whether to make any amendment or change to the Indian Constitution. The Constitution Amendment Bill is considered to be an important bill. The Parliament discusses why the amendment is required and decides whether to accept it or not. The Constitution mentions various ways of amending the Constitution. They are as follows. Few provisions in the Indian Constitution are amended by simple majority of the Parliament. Some provisions require special majority, 2/3 of the Parliament. Few other provisions are amended by special majority plus consent from more than half of the constituent states.